Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Train Feeder. That's right, we're back. And we're in a pretty dodgy financial situation right now. We've got a maximum loan of 10 million and we've got 8.2 of that out right now. So in total, we are $9 million in debt. Let's not stick it in 3 times speed. That is maybe a little bit ambitious for us right now. We need to figure out why we're losing so much money. And I sort of theory crafted about why that was the case in the last episode. But basically, I think that Big One may be a slightly terrible idea. We may be losing, or we may be going to lose a lot of money. We've got 58k from that. I mean, that's nice, but I feel that we were getting a lot more regular income from the Whitby to Woburn route. And now just all of the passengers... Now all of the passengers are basically signed up for the big one. And that's pretty bad. That's really kind of bad. I mean, I don't feel that we're in a terrible position. But I feel that it's just a little bit dodgy, you know? It's just a little bit dodgy. It's just a little bit dodgy. Which kind of sucks. But I'm prepared to at least try for a little bit longer. See if we can get it to work. Is there a train in the mountain or something? As soon as a train goes past this signal, then the next train should be able to start. We've only got 8 passengers on that train. 8 passengers on that train, though. 8 passengers out of a maximum of 40? Yeah, 40. Surely, as soon as this train arrives here and it picks up a bunch of passengers and takes them to Woburn, we should be fine. Like, it's still the same amount of passengers, isn't it? They're just being transported in a slightly different way. I think that's what's going on. I mean, I'm sticking it in 3 times speed because I am, you know, I'm desperate to see what the problem is here. I want it to be fixed. I really, really do. I don't want to be in debt at all. A lot of passengers waiting at the big one. Should get a bunch of money. That's good. Picked up a heck of a lot of passengers. I'd imagine there's a lot of passengers on this train. Only 26. So clearly 25 of them want to go in the opposite direction. It looks like we're making money. It looks like at 3 times... Okay, we just went down to minus 1.5 million. It looks like we're making money, right? It looks like we're making money. Which is what's kind of important. Why have we only got... What? Where is this train? This train is... The Sidmouth line. Like, do we have to think about this in a different way? Do we have to think about this in a different way? I mean, I'm thinking that we maybe just get rid of the big one. I actually genuinely am. I'm thinking that we maybe just get rid of the line. I'm going to send all the vehicles to the depot, and then I'm going to get rid of this line. New vehicle is available. Stake car. I'm not that bothered. I mean, look at how much money we're losing. We used to be making shit tons of money on the shitty Sidmouth line, right? It may have been shitty, but not that shitty. And the same with the Whitby line, right? Same with the Whitby line. Everybody go to a depot. Just go to the nearest depot that you possibly can, and we're going to try and resolve this issue. It may not work, but you know what? It's worth a darned good try, I should hope. And then we're going to reassign these trains to be on the old lines that we used to have them on. I hope that that is going to work. There needs to still be some way for us to get trains from Congleton to Whitby, but I'm thinking that we only have a Congleton to Whitby line rather than a line that goes Sidmouth, Congleton, Whitby, Woburn, Whitby, Congleton, Sidmouth. Does that make sense? I don't even know if that makes sense. You know, rather than having one entire line, I think we've got to break it down into little bits because otherwise we ain't gonna make any money. You know, we ain't gonna make no money. So I guess we're gonna set this line to the Great Wall of Whitby line. It's give it a shot. We'll try. Fingers crossed, anyway. I don't know if it's even going to work, but hey-ho. 6 passengers at the Great Wall of Whitby Line. That's a tough pill to swallow. That is a really tough pill to swallow. What's going on here? Waiting for a free path. What's the issue? Should be able to get down here. Really? There's not a signal in there? I don't even think we have enough money to buy a signal, so... Yeah, we don't have enough money to buy a signal. We're so in debt that we can't even buy a bloody signal for 1.5k. Or 1.05k, or whatever the heck it is. I mean, it's an outrageous cost anyway, but whatever. You're Great Wall of Whitby Line, yeah, and you are heading for the depot. I'm actually going to assign you to the shitty Sidmouth line, actually. So it's going to take you a while to get there, but whatever. It's going to be worth it, I hope. You're the Great Wall of Whitby Line, that's fine. So we're getting a lot more passengers for the Great Wall of Whitby Line, which is kind of important for us right now. We're still heavily in debt, which kind of sucks, but hey-ho. How is Kirkby doing? Like, how is the Kirkby line doing? You are Great Wall of Whitby, and you've got 30 out of 30 passengers. You see that? Great Wall of Whitby line. So many passengers waiting. It seems that has actually worked. This is train 1. This has reached its lifetime. Let's, well, we can't schedule an upgrade because, of course, there is no way for us to do that, but hey-ho. Great Wall of Whitby line, it's already got auto upgrade on, which is fantastic. You know what we should do? I think we should set auto upgrade to just upgrade to the cheaper trains to run. I'm thinking that actually might be our plan. I think that is a good shout. I actually really do. We'll take 5 carriages. And we'll also put it on 150% of lifespan. I think that's a really good idea. I really do. 150%. Vehicle will be replaced automatically. Yes. You're on yes. Perfect. Great Wall of Whitby. Great Wall of Kirkby. And shitty Sidmouth line is the only other train line that we actually have right now. I mean, obviously we've got goods by train and second goods by train, but that's pretty much irrelevant, let's face it. Like, it brings us in a little bit of money, but not as much as I would ideally like it to. The big one. There we go. So basically costs us 550k per line, or per train renewal. And that should basically mean that we can take our running costs way down, because I think that we've got to do 2 things here, right? Obviously, one is raise our income, and the second, which is not something that I've been focusing on in the slightest, is get our running costs down. Get our running costs down at all costs. We really just need to do that. We really do. And, you know, we're trying. We really are trying to make that dream happen. 30 passengers here. Great. And there is 42 passengers there. That is fantastic. That is really good. Now, where is the train that is going to be going on to the shitty Sidmouth line? You are Great Wall of Whitby line. That's fine. You're the Great Wall of Whitby line as well. You've only got 6 passengers. That's not very many, I'm afraid. But we've got a lot of people waiting at the Great Wall of Whitby over there, so that's really nice to see. Now, theoretically, we should have 1 or 2 trains left over from the big one, or because, you know, that was a failed experiment, wasn't it? Doesn't actually matter. We can still redistribute these trains. We've got a train over there that's probably going to be heading to the depot. Where are you? You're on the shitty Sidmouth line, and you've got... Wow, you've got 40 out of 40 passengers. 50 passengers waiting over there. Holy cow. So we should have 3 trains on the shitty Sidmouth line. I think we only have 2 at the moment. think we need one more. Where is that other train that we were taking over, that we were shipping over? Is it this one? Is this the train that we're shipping over? There should be a couple of trains on the shitty Sidmouth line. Yeah, there's 3 trains. What? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. I thought that train was over in Kirkby for a second there. I was saying, what on earth is going on? There's 2 trains in the Whitby train depot. That's fine. You are over there. I know where you are. You're over there. That's fine. And you, train 10. Oh my god, you actually are going to Whitby, aren't you? You're fucking insane. Well, this guy is supposed to be on the shitty Sidmouth line, but I guess he's not going to be for a sufficiently long length of time. So, well, that's fine. I guess we'll just let him trundle around the track until he's ready to do that. Until he's ready to go all the way back round to over here. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't go into the station and then go back. I guess maybe you can't, unless you're destined to stop at that station. Oh, my bad. My bad. Maybe, but that's also kind of stupid. Now, there should be 2 trains waiting around here. It says that there's 2 trains in the Whitby train depot. Okay, heading for depot. Still heading for depot, but very, very close by. Sweet. Okay. Now, with these 2 trains, we still need to set up a route from Whitby to Congleton. And that is going to be something that is going to take a little bit of getting used to, actually. It's going to be kind of challenging to set that up, because we're going to need to set up a little bit of a turning circle at this side of the station, but also in Congleton, actually. And I'm not sure if we really want to. What I'm thinking about is setting this train. This is... Excuse me? Train 5. Details. When is it going to be replaced? Plus 36%. That's fine. Whatever. Age 23 years old. What is the lifespan of these trains? 23 years. I mean, this is the first generation type of train, so... What's the lifespan? Lifespan... 30 years. Okay, so this train is going to be replaced pretty soon. We've also got, you know, the super modern train as well, which I'm kind of excited about. It's cool. I'm glad that we've got that here. So, what we need to do somehow is set up... Okay, we've got options here, right? 2 options, as I see it. Option A, we set both of those trains on a Whitby to Congleton route. And that would mean taking out some more big loans, because we need to make those turning circles, because otherwise the trains are going to go all the way up there and all the way down there, and then all, you know, just all around, and it's just going to be a little bit ridiculous. So I don't think we really want to do that. I don't really think we can afford to even get out of debt right now. I mean, literally, if we took out the remainder of our loan, we would still be pretty deep in the hole, like 200k in the hole or whatever. So I think what our options actually are dispatching one of the trains onto the Great Wall of Whitby line, and the other train should probably go on the Kirkby line. I'm inclined to say that the faster train goes on the Kirkby line, Great Bridge of Kirkby line, and I'm inclined to say that you get dispatched to the Great Wall of Whitby line. Right? I think that that is fair enough. I really do. I really, really do. We'll see if it works. We'll see if it works. I don't know if it will. Maybe it'll help us make a little bit more money. I'm just really, really hopeful. I don't even know how long it's going to take for this train to get to where he needs to go. He should be able to just go up here and then round there. That should sort things out quite nicely, because we really do need more trains on the Great Wall of Kirkby line. We've got 60 passengers waiting over there. That is kind of a little bit ridiculous. Is this the train that's going all the way to... Yeah, it's the shitty Sidmouth line. Huh, who would have thought? I thought we had 3 trains on the Kirkby route. Only 11 passengers there. How do we only have 11 passengers there? Where's our 3rd train on the Kirkby route? I thought we had 3 trains on the Kirkby. We've got 4 trains on the Kirkby route. Well, of course, we just added one. Ah, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. It's actually coming into town. That's cool. We've got fairly old trains on the Kirkby route, unfortunately. And that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. That really does. What also sucks is that we had a really, really great setup, and we totally blew it by introducing the big one. Obviously, we couldn't anticipate that. It was a badly planned plan, and it's more of a question of, you know, what the game decides to do in certain situations. And I guess if the passengers want to go on the big train, then that's fine. I was more intending the big train to be like, I don't know, if you wanted to go from Woburn to Sidmouth, then you'd take, or Woburn to Congleton, or Whitby to Sidmouth, or Whitby to Congleton, you'd take that train. But it seems that passengers who were wanting to go to Woburn to Whitby were also taking that train, and that just really fucked everything up, you know? Rather than taking a direct service, they ended up taking a very, very indirect service. But you know what? It's actually fine, because we've got a whole bunch of infrastructure which we are going to be able to use to transport passengers from Congleton to Whitby. It's just a question of actually, you know, getting it set up so that it actually works. Meanwhile, how are our little wagons doing? They're doing pretty good, to be honest. They're doing pretty darn good. Pretty happy about that. We're still producing a lot of goods over here. Yeah, we got a fair number of goods waiting to be transported, and quite a lot of goods being produced. It's quite awesome to see, actually. But yeah, I think that this is really how we get back on top of our financial situation. Also, what I think is going to help is the fact that we've set auto update on all 3 of these major lines. So slowly but surely, and I mean very, very slowly, we are gonna be able to get our neck above the water in terms of finances again, because let's face it, things have been pretty dodgy for a little bit. Pretty darn dodgy for a little bit, and you know, getting our running costs down by a substantial amount is it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt at all. So good. Yeah, I'm glad that that is you know, sort of something that we're working hard on. You've come from the Great Bridge of Kirkby and you're heading into town. That is great to see. Good. Looks like we've managed to reduce the number of passengers that are at the station by a fairly substantial amount, to be honest. Be pretty happy about that. You're going to the Great Bridge of Kirkby. Sweet. Awesome. That's good. That's going to really, really help things out, actually. Yeah, I'm actually really, really happy that that train's going to be going over there. Even though we do have a train waiting over here, and this train is going to take 30 passengers. Oh shit, we got another train. Oh god, okay, so there's going to be literally 0 passengers over here for a little bit. I'm actually going to stop you for a while. Yeah, you just chill out over there, bro. I'm going to stick this in 3 times speed, because here's my logic, right? We've got 2 trains that are going to be coming into the station right now. Okay? You are going to pick up about 30 passengers. Well, probably exactly 30 passengers now that I think about it. You are going to pick up 24 passengers. So there should be, you know, a couple of passengers left for the Great Wall of Whitby. No, not the Great Wall of Whitby. The Great Bridge of Kirkby line, right? So there should be a couple passengers left, maybe 2 or 3. But you are the Sidmouth line. Yeah, that's fine. That's great. That's okay. So we'll let you do your thing. You can carry on through. That's right. And we'll wait until this station has got, I don't know, 20 passengers maybe? Maybe 30 passengers. And does that work? Yeah, that seems to work fine. I think that that is the best situation. The best case scenario, so to speak. I think it's going to work. I think it's going to work. You know, and it also separates the time between trains as well, so we get a more consistent service on the Kirkby line. Obviously, we are holding up this dude over here who wants to head on over to Congleton. But you know what? I don't care. I do not care. He can wait because he's stupid. Alright, we'll resume that train. 21 passengers for the Great Bridge of Kirkby waiting. How many passengers did that train just take? 18. You know, that's a pretty good success in my books. Pretty good success. I apologize to the delays on the people that are actually coming from Kirkby to Woburn, but whatever. It sucks. Sometimes it happens. Alright, so we should actually manage to get rid of all of the passengers that are waiting to go on the Great Bridge of Kirkby line. That is grand. That is really, really good. That is a major, major step in the right direction. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, in fact, oh my goodness, the first time that a train has ever gone round this way. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? You know what we could do? We could replace this with a double station, actually. I don't know if it'll work, but it could. Like, it could fuck things up hugely. Or it could work kind of well. Well, I say that we can replace it with a double station. Obviously, we are in major debt at the moment, so we can't actually do that, but hey-ho. You know what I also feel really sorry for? I feel sorry for the shitty Sidmouth line, right? Because that is making us bank right now, right? That is totally making us money. However, one of the trains that is supposed to be on that line is still in the middle of nowhere, so it's just losing money over time in a massive, massive way. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. 18 passengers from Whitby. How many passengers do we have in Whitby at the moment? 26. That's alright. That's a good number. I feel comfortable transporting that number on a train. It's good. It's fine. And the Great Bridge of Kirkby line. Yeah, we should be fine with that one. It's looking pretty good. You're Great Wall of Whitby. I thought you were. I thought, you know, I was thinking, okay, maybe you're from Kirkby, but that's fine. Yeah, everything seems pretty darn good over here. Picking up a heck of a lot of passengers, and the spacing between the trains, which is probably one of the most important things, is something that I'm really, really happy about. Very, very happy about indeed. It's not ideal, but it's pretty darn perfect, actually. I say it's not ideal, and then it's pretty darn perfect. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that I'm kind of happy with the way that it is. And look, we're already making money. We're no longer just, you know, slowly losing money like we were at the start of the episode. So I feel that we've done some pretty important progress to actually paying off some of our debts and actually being able to buy some signals. Some signals. We don't even have enough money to buy signals. Oh my goodness. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Alright, ladies and gents, that's going to pretty much wrap up the episode of A Train Fever. My name, of course, has been Obra Potato. Thank you very, very much for watching. In the next episode, we're probably going to be moving on, and we're going to be monitoring closely, very, very closely, the train that was heading over to Sidmouth. Where is it? Where is the train? Where is it? Is it this one? I think it is this one. It is. It is this one. Alright, ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.